From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, February 7th. Today, some rain returns to our area, isolated scattered showers in the later morning hours, and will continue into the early afternoon hours before all of that moves on out. It's going to be breezy, but warm. Highs are going to get into the low 50s, but the wind gusts will be 25 to 35 miles per hour at times. So just grab the rain gear. Otherwise, it's going to feel like a spring day. And this morning, the parents of Herman Whitfield III say they want justice. It's nearly a year after their son died while in IMPD's custody. They tell News 8's multicultural reporter Katira Winfrey that they want him to be remembered for the life he lived rather than how he died.
It's an uncomfortable quiet, but the silence of grief is extremely loud.
He used to serenade me all the time on the piano. He liked to play different pieces, songs for me.
10 months have inched by since their son died after being tased and handcuffed by police. The sting of their loss hasn't waned.
Who knows what the limit would have been? He was preparing himself, and he was still studying. He had also taken a music composition course.
It's been a trying journey, but one Gladys and Herman Whitfield II boldly take. But the love and memories they hold dear gives them the fuel to push on. We want it now! Rallying, fighting for justice, and now proudly sharing who Trey, Herman III, was.
He's just an amazing young man, and I'm gonna miss him.
Mrs. Whitfield says she noticed something in her son at 4 years old. His first piano teacher noticed it too. He had a gift. From there, he evolved into a skilled musician, all before finishing high school, winning local and national Prelude Music Awards in composition and piano, and winning the NAACP AXO Awards. What does that make you feel to know that he left a mark of some kind that wasn't marred by this tragic end?
It feels good that his music is out there, and people seem to appreciate it. They sent us lots of cards and just little words of encouragement to say how much he left for the world.
Earning multiple degrees, he would go on to compose for the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and the Indianapolis Philharmonic.
I'd always told him he was gifted, and that, you know, the world is out there for him. Just go for it. I always told him that.
Okay, let me see you do it.
Those accomplishments meant nothing, they say to the police who responded to the family home April 25th, 2022. Mr. Whitfield said his son had been disoriented. He'd had smaller issues before, but nothing like this.
Bud, I need you to relax for me.
Fearing a mental crisis, they called for an ambulance. Instead, police showed up. His mother asking early on, they're not going to kill him, are they?
The haste at which they acted, there was no emergency that called for them to act so quickly.
The Whitfields say their son was calmly moving through the home, but as more officers entered, his anxiety spiked. The parents say they wished police had discussed with them possible actions, adding they didn't realize he'd been tased until he was down.
The guy that tased him, Steven Sanchez, I think he was in the house a minute and a half and 2 minutes before he tased him.
At the end, you say, I thought you all said he was okay. Did the worry immediately hit you, or were you still not sure how he was doing?
I asked her more than once, he's not moving. And she said, oh, he's okay, or we just tased him a little bit. I didn't know they had tasered him either.
They say while their son lay naked, face down and cuffed, there was a loss in humanity.
One asked the other, should we turn him over? And what was really heartbreaking, he asked him, should we turn him over? He said, no, I don't want him to get up. To me, that was really terrible.
Well, he got his wish.
Yeah, he didn't get up again.
The Whitfields say their son was a gentle soul. And the force he felt at the end is a wound that'll never heal. But what he's left behind for them and others, for now, will serve as a salve.
I'm hoping other people would inquire about his music and would want to play it.
Katira Winfrey, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And the parents of a 17-year-old boy share memories of their son after he was shot and killed on the city's east side. According to police, it happened on Lowell Avenue near East Washington Street Saturday night. They say James Johnson III was found with gunshot wounds and taken to a local hospital before dying. His parents say he was loved by all in his community and would bring fresh produce to people.
He saw that there were, food deserts, grocery stores closing, different things like that. And he and I would always try different exotic fruits at home. And he thought, okay, well, let's get these kiwis and mangoes and pineapples and watermelon, and let's put them in a cup and take them out to the basketball courts, the parks. So that's how he kind of came up with the idea for 317 Fruit Man.
No information on a possible suspect or what may have led to the shooting has been released. School officials say there will be a memorial fund for parents who want to help with funeral costs. To iTeammate now, an Indianapolis family is taking steps to sue Mayor Joe Hogsett, IMPD Chief Randall Taylor, and 3 IMPD officers after officers shot a man in his grandparents' driveway. They are claiming civil rights violations over excessive use of force. The shooting happened New Year's Day in the early morning hours near 38th and Oxford. 24-year-old Anthony McClan says he'd gotten to his grandmother's house late that night. He was in a rental car and says his grandmother called police when she didn't recognize the vehicle. He'd fallen asleep in his car because he didn't want to go inside and wake her up, she says. And then he woke up to a tap on the car window and gunshots. His attorneys say 3 IMPD officers shot his car some 36 times, hitting him 3 times. McClan says he did have a registered gun in the car, but never reached for it. IMPD says the officers involved are on administrative duty, and the body camera footage is expected to be released later this week. Also from iTeammate, the Mitchell Police Department says it may be a couple of days before Officer Christian Anderson is released from the hospital. As we've reported, he was one of 2 officers injured in a weekend police shooting in Lawrence County. The department says he's doing well, but is groggy from pain medication. Lawrence County Deputy Joshua Rhodes was also wounded in the shooting. He was released on Sunday. A massive search and rescue effort is underway after a deadly earthquake and multiple aftershocks struck Turkey and Syria. Turkish officials say nearly 8,000 people have been rescued there. Countries around the world are sending experts and aid to help, including the United States. Officials say the death toll now tops 5,000 and could continue to grow. Thousands more were injured in the earthquake. And today, a balloon briefing for top leaders in Congress. They'll find out details about its links to China and the decision to shoot the balloon down. According to the Pentagon, at least 3 other suspected Chinese spy balloons entered U.S. airspace during the Trump administration, and 1 more was detected early in the Biden administration. Former Trump officials have denied those claims. And while this one was eventually shot down over the Atlantic and analysts are starting to investigate the first pieces of debris, there are a lot of questions in the air, especially in Washington, D.C. The Biden administration is facing criticism for waiting to shoot the balloon. CNN cites an anonymous source saying the Gang of 8 will likely be briefed on the balloon situation today. The group is made up of top Democratic and Republican leaders in both the House and Senate and has some key Intelligence Committee members from both chambers. This Thursday, the Senate and the House are scheduled to hold separate classified briefings on the balloon. And House Republicans are weighing in on a vote this week on a resolution condemning the Biden administration for its handling of the balloon. President Biden told reporters that he gave the order Wednesday to take the balloon down as soon as possible, but that didn't happen until Saturday because of the risk of the debris falling to the ground. Yesterday, the president said shooting down the balloon did not damage the U.S. relationship with China, but the administration admits this may not be the last spy balloon situation.
They understand our position. We're not going to back off. We did the right thing. And there's not a question of weakening or strengthening. It's just the reality.
This is not the first time and will not likely be the last time that the Chinese have sent surveillance balloons over the continental U.S.
There is video out there showing a similar balloon flying over Latin America. China says it is theirs and claims it was conducting flight tests but got off course by mistake. Also today, President Biden will deliver the State of the Union address. It is the second of his term and first since Republicans took control of the House in the midterm elections. Likely topics include economic uncertainty, the balloon-fueled tensions with China, the war in Ukraine, and other topics. The new governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, will deliver the Republican response. You can watch both speeches live on Wish TV. Our analysts from All Indiana Politics will be in studio to provide perspective. It all starts at 9 o'clock tonight. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is challenging the president to cut spending as part of a deal to raise the debt ceiling. McCarthy delivered a speech yesterday ahead of Biden's State of the Union.
President Biden wants Congress to raise the debt limit yet again, without a single sensible change to how government spends your hard-earned money. None. Does that sound responsible to you? The choice is clear. We can have reckless spending, or we can have responsibility. We cannot have both.
McCarthy did not give specific suggestions for cuts, but says Social Security and Medicare are not options. The countdown is on for Super Bowl Sunday as the Chiefs and Eagles prepare for the big game in Phoenix. The two teams landed in Arizona Sunday. As we reported, the big game will be one of firsts, featuring the first Super Bowl with two black starting quarterbacks, and two brothers will be facing off against each other. Eagles center Jason Kelce will be on the opposite side of his older brother Travis, the Chiefs starting tight end. Travis spoke about what it'll be like playing against his brother. He said it's basically a win-win for his mom. Wish TV has you covered from Phoenix for Super Bowl 57. Sports director Anthony Calhoun has all of your coverage with All Access Indy Phoenix leading up to Sunday's big game. And Purdue stays on top of the college basketball mountain, and the IU women take a step closer to the peak. Both polls are out and deliver big news for the state. Men's side, the Boilermakers stay number one in the nation, holding off Houston and Alabama despite Purdue's weekend loss to IU. The win in Bloomington lifts the Hoosiers to number 18. Next up for Purdue, a Thursday night game against Iowa. IU gets Michigan Saturday. Now to the IU women. The team keeps rewriting school history. The Hoosiers climbed to number 2 in the nation in the new polls, best ever for the program. A win over Purdue helped vault IU up 2 spots. A huge game looms Thursday against number 5 Iowa. And somebody is waking up in Washington State, or maybe who just bought the ticket there. A winner of the 5th largest Powerball jackpot in history. According to Powerball, a single ticket matched all winning numbers of last night's jackpot, worth $754.6 million. If the winner chooses cash, it would be worth $403.1 million. And the ticket was sold there in Washington State. So it might be somebody who was traveling through. Maybe you're from Indiana and had been in Washington State, bought a ticket. But yeah, somebody had a life-changing luck yesterday during that drawing. And Florida is closer to pulling power away from Disney. For decades, Disney World has operated within its own independent government called Reedy Creek. State lawmakers and Governor Ron DeSantis are moving forward now with a plan, but to put the area back under direct state authority, with DeSantis leading a special board. Lawmakers formally introduced the bill yesterday. The move is fallout from the dispute between DeSantis and Disney over the company's criticism of Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill. And to business headlines. The cushion of savings many built up during the pandemic is thinning out. In some households, it's already gone. Goldman Sachs estimates Americans have spent down about 35% of the extra savings they accumulated during the pandemic as of mid-January. Early in the pandemic, Americans were socking away money at unprecedented rates. In 2020, they collectively saved 16.8% of their disposable income, well above the 8.8% they saved in 2019. But in 2022, the saving rate fell to 3.3%. The average price for a gallon of gasoline in the United States saw a weekly fall for the first time this year. The average price in the U.S. was $3.44 a gallon Sunday. AAA says the current average in central Indiana is $3.20 a gallon, down 8 cents in the past week. Fox has sold out of Super Bowl ad inventory, with some 30-second spots fetching upwards of $7 million. Crypto ads are out this year, while booze ads are in. This as nearly 18 million Americans plan to watch the game at a bar or restaurant. Ticket IQ says the game's get-in costs went from $5,600 a ticket 1 week ago to roughly $6,000 going into Monday morning. Get-in prices reflect the cheapest seat in the stadium, including broker fees. AMC Theaters is changing the way it charges for seats. Prices of a ticket will now be based on seat location, meaning seats in the front will be cheaper, while more desirable seats in the middle will now cost more. The ticket pricing initiative, called Slight Line at AMC, will roll out all of its roughly 1,000 movie theaters by the end of the year. And finally, Wallet Hub ranks Indianapolis the 12th best city for football. NFL football ranked higher locally than college. The report did say Indianapolis had among the least accessible college football stadium. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.